Today we have the pleasure of having Stacey Magovern with us today. How are you doing, Stacey?
Good. I'm very grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We are so happy to have you. So please tell us the story of how you got to where you are today.
Oh gosh, it's kind of it's kind of the true American dream kind of story.
Okay, we love it.
Yeah, my mom always told me that if you're not happy with your life, you're the only person that can change it.
Hmm.
No one's going to come knocking on your door or handing you $1 million to change your life. And so I married a police officer.
Okay.
So found out very quickly about the police wife life. And we struggled. I was in commission sales and he was not making very much as a police officer. So we really relied on what they call off-duty work, the work that the officers can get in their off-duty time. And a lot of people don't know, in Texas especially, these guys really rely on that money. Like it's what makes ends meet.
Okay.
And, me being in commission sales, 1 month's great and the next month's, beans and weenies, if you will. So, so I realized, he was working off-duty jobs here and there, but it was so random and we never knew when we were going to get paid. We never knew when the next job was going to be. So it was hard to really plan anything as a family or have any kind of quality of life. So I just saw that gap in the marketplace. And I said, you know what? There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way where these officers that want off-duty work can go and get as much or as little as they need. And then, for the corporate clients, how great would it be if they don't have to go find these officers? These officers are just brought to them through a company, and they basically have one point of contact for everything, for the invoice, for the scheduling, for the cancellations, all that. So, I joke that I became a millionaire overnight, but it was, there's always more to it, right? So I spent 2 years while raising a family. I have 2 boys.
Wow.
And married to a police officer who was never home, working a full-time job, of course, couldn't quit my job, trying to get my idea into the marketplace, try to get some traction. And long story short, after working on it for 2 years, which, I like to say in the big picture of life, 2 years is not that much.
Of course.
But when you're going through it, it's a lot, right?
Forever. Yes.
So you got to have some tenacity and some will to not give up. And anyway, long story short, I was in the bathroom, true story, getting ready for work in September of 2014. The doorbell rang. It was FedEx. They had a package for the company I had created, Point Blank Safety, which, by the way, it wasn't really a company at this point. It was still, an idea and a business card. But I was like, a package? Like, we don't get packages. I'm still trying to build this brand. Anyway, opened it up, and it was a $1.5 million contract to use our officers on a tech stop project where they're adding a lane from Dallas to Denton to use our police officers for site security and traffic control. So literally went from commissioned salesperson to running a multi-million-dollar company in a moment. As hard as I worked to get that traction, I never really knew that it was going to succeed. No one, I met with these companies multiple times and told them my idea and pitched and tried to sell it. But no one ever specifically said, hey, Stacey, we're going to go with you. Hey, we're going to give you a shot,
Right. Kind of neutral.
Yeah. So it was a real shock when I got that in the mail. And then since then, we've just grown and grown by leaps and bounds. We're one of the largest traffic control safety companies in the state of Texas.
Wow.
So in 2017, my husband and I looked at each other and we said, we've been so blessed. This has, changed our lives, changed our kids' lives, changed hundreds of officers' lives. So because of that, we formed a nonprofit called Blue Family Fund, totally self-funded. We pay all the bills for the nonprofit ourselves. And then every dollar donated goes either to a scholarship or financial aid to the family of a first responder. So that's kind of how I got here. A very summarized version of it, but yeah.
Yes, of course. So it's almost like you said, you found the success and now you wanted to give back, and I'm sure changed so many people's lives while doing so, both in the business and with the nonprofit.
Exactly. And now, I have over 200 officers that rely on us for off-duty work. So that's pretty motivating in itself. You get up in the morning and you got to make sure there's enough work for these guys. Yeah. So, it keeps me on my toes and keeps me trying to keep those contracts coming in. And, we just continue, we're just so blessed. We just continue to grow. And, the one point of contact for scheduling and hiring all your officers, luckily the clients really find that beneficial. They're able to maybe free up a whole person within their company to do something more revenue generating. So really kind of filled that gap in the marketplace.
Right. Found that niche. Niche.
Absolutely.
And so with the mindset, like you said, so many people are literally relying on you to have work, you're impacting people's lives. What does being a conscious business leader mean to you then?
Being conscious of everything, being conscious of
Mm.
the clients, making sure we're meeting their needs to the best of our ability, which, I like to tell people, you need, if you want to have a successful, scalable business, you need to perfect your process. You really need to be sure that you're the
Okay.
best in the industry. And that sounds cocky, but if you're going to go up against the big guys, the big competition, we just recently went up against Addison PD and Dallas, Texas PD for a
Mhm.
job, and we ended up winning it. But if I wasn't confident in our processes and our scheduling system and everything that we have, I wouldn't have felt comfortable going up against such large departments as that. So, you got to get comfortable with your systems and your processes, and you have to be the best in your industry. So being conscious of that, plus being conscious, it's kind of a seesaw, keeping the
Yeah.
clients happy, keeping the officers happy, making sure, your margins are correct as far as, both, so that you continue to have officers that want to work for you. They see the benefit of working for you instead of trying to find the work on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a family leader,
Yeah.
I say you're the leader of your family
Yep.
first. That's your ultimate business. I still feel, even though we've now had some success, I still feel obligated to make the money go as far as I possibly can. I still clip coupons. I still do apps for grocery bills and all kinds of stuff, because I feel like, if you can't be the CEO of your family, you'll never be a real successful CEO in
Right.
business.
And so do you feel like in all those different realms, like you said, there's the family, there's for your clients, for your employees, do you feel like your confidence, at least in your systems and even in yourself, kind of makes others around you have confidence in themselves as well?
I do. I believe, when I tell my story, obviously people get motivated and inspired, but I think, you can say all you want, and I can go on a billion podcasts and, talk, but it's your actions really that make people want to follow you and be a part of your success, or be a part of, your, whatever you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, you always lead by example first, and then the words come later. But I think, when people see that, we could have gone out and, bought the big house and the fancy cars and all that stuff. But, instead of that, we said, let's pay it forward. Let's give it back.
Okay.
Let's change other people's lives. And I think that really touches a lot of people that, I think anyone with any level of success should do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so going off of that note, what are ways, like you say, you take on a lot, you want to be a leader. What are ways that you make sure you take care of yourself and keep yourself in that high performance, mindset, day-to-day actions?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love to swim. So
Ooh.
I'm, when the weather's right,
Yes.
I might take a break in the middle of the afternoon and just take a dip,
Okay.
or just take a few minutes. I love to watch Judge Judy. I was actually on her show once. And so I sit,
Wow.
so I'll take an hour break and watch that. It's not, to me, the day's not done until I've completed everything on my list for that day.
Mm-hmm.
I create a list and I try to really honestly get through it, even the stuff I don't want to do. So if you have to take a break to be able to get back to it, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you just need a mindset break, just,
Right. And reset.
yeah. And then also, you catch yourself when you're working all day long, you catch yourself doing busy work and,
Yeah.
doing creating a job for yourself instead of being a business leader.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a difference. So you have to really stop and say, am I outsourcing the right things? Am I focusing my energy on the right things? I'm great at sales. I'm great at
Mm-hmm.
being the face of the company, but if I'm spending 6 hours knee deep in payroll, that's probably not the best fit for me. So
Mm-hmm.
you really have to look at it continuously and make sure your efforts are going to the right thing.
Absolutely. And so, what is your vision then for your business within the next 3 to 5 years? Like you said, you have the nonprofit now, you're paying it forward. I'm sure you have plans to make sure you continue making that impact.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I do podcasts, honestly, is to build awareness for the nonprofit.
Okay.
People are very hesitant to give to anything they haven't heard of. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
blame them. I work hard for my money just like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like to spread the word that, we're a true nonprofit. We're not taking salaries out of the money. You're not financing some huge headquarter office somewhere.
Okay.
We're really taking every dollar donated and giving it out. recently gave $2,000 to the family of an Everman, Texas police officer that died from COVID. He contracted it in the line of duty. And so, we're not huge yet. We're still small, but every single penny really does go to a family. And so the more awareness I can build for that, the more people will be able to help. Maybe we can eventually expand beyond Texas and continue to grow. And of course, point blank, we just continue to take on clients, and the more officers that find out about us and that, wow, there's this marketplace, if you will, for off-duty work, so they can really work as much or as little as they want. It's just a great benefit for them.
Yeah. And so I want to stay on that topic as far as talking about the nonprofit. How can people donate, or where can they get information to do so or help in some way?
Sure. Yeah. We obviously are on all social media. It's bluefamilyfund.org. Is our website, and there's a donate button right there on the front of the website. You can also donate through Facebook. So, wherever you feel comfortable. You can also, when you donate, you can set up a recurring donation or a one-time donation. Okay. And you can also put it in the memory or in the name of a first responder that you want to support. So you're able to put all that information in there, so we know who it's for and what you're about.
So it can be general, but you can, like I said, make it specific too. If there's someone you really want to help out, I'm sure that not being anonymous too kind of helps people. So like, I want to help them, but I don't want them to know necessarily.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. And also we have t-shirts and car decals and all that kind of stuff on our website. If, sometimes people want to get something for their donation. So, if you purchase any of those items, all the proceeds go, back to the Blue Family Fund as well.
Okay. And then I want to also give you a chance to tell us about your latest book, please.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited.
Yes.
It's really, it's an autobiography, if you will, but it's more than that. It's really just my story, and then how you can implement the steps that I took to get to this level of success. So it's really a motivational guide as a business guide and a story all wrapped up in one. So you kind of get to learn more about how I got to where I am, who the people that inspired me, and then step by step, whether you already have a business or you're planning to start one, it gives you all those steps to put into place to make that happen for yourself. And it's available on Amazon. It's just, you can just, it's called Turn Your Passion into $1 Million Business. I did, but you can also just Google Stacey Magovern and it'll pop up. And we're also on Barnes and Noble and Apple Books, and basically all the places you buy books, we're there.
Wow. And congratulations with that. That's amazing.
Thank you. And it's a real light read. It's not some, 300 page, worksheet or whatever. It's about 95 pages. It's a really light read.
Okay.
Really easy to get through. We do have an audio book coming out probably in the next 30 days. That takes a little longer to produce, but if you'd rather do the audio. But yeah, the book it's not overwhelming and doesn't dive so deep that you can't understand exactly what to do.
Okay. And as the CEO of your family, can this book also be kind of applied to people's personal lives as well?
I think so. I mean, you have to have direction no matter what you're trying to run. If you're running, a family and trying to make the dollars stretch as far as they possibly can, or if you're running a business, it all goes hand in hand. You have to have, a budget and steps in place to make things happen. None of us get very far if we don't have some sort of plan in place to get there.
At least in that foundation that can push you. You can always fall back on if things don't go as planned.
Right, exactly.
Well, Stacey Magovern, thank you so much for joining us today, and definitely for providing those links where people can donate and just learn more about your business. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I love your show and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.